Hey guys, this is Valerie Smith, and I'm the publisher of Writer Now magazine, and we are charity and benefit driven. And this show is all about us interviewing people and what they do in the community and how they help other people and how we can help them. And we are sponsored by Fran Hosh Law Group. Thanks to her, she makes everything possible for us. But first of all, I wanted to tell you about a few things that are going on in the community. We have this weekend, as today's the 6th of June, we have the Battle of the Bands at Quaker Steak and Lube. That's going to be going on Sunday in Clearwater. And if you guys can get down here, that's going to be a great event. Going to have all kind of bands. They're competing for a $2,500 package. And so Sunday from 12 to 8, it's going to be rocking and rolling over at Quaker Steak and Lube. And that's sponsored or put on by Constance After Dark. And you guys might remember her from being here with me last week or week before last. Great interview person, and she had my back the whole time, which is wonderful. We love lifting up strong women. And if you guys out there, you probably will see on the Dale and Cat show the run that went out of Crystal Harley Davidson. And it was all about Rosie the Riveter, and they had a huge turnout. So be sure that you listen to the Dale and Cat show on Thursday night and see what they have about the run out of Crystal Harley for all the women. Rosie the Riveter, I'm getting tongue-tied here. But anyway, what I have today for you is interesting. I brought in a guest that everybody in Tampa Bay knows, probably everybody all over the state, but I have Mr. Thomas T-Man Brown from Tampa Homeless Outreach. T-Man, thanks for coming into my show.
Thank you for inviting me.
You know, I want to pick your brain because so many people see what you do. You know, we watch your post, and it almost makes me cry when I look in my Facebook and you say got another Navy or Army or Marine veteran off the street into housing. First of all, tell me what made you take this route? Why are you doing this?
Well, the opportunity was offered to me about almost 11 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago. By my now CEO for my paid job is with Tampa Crossroads,
right?
Which is a nonprofit, and I started my nonprofit Tampa Homeless Outreach 3 years ago to fill a gap between what we could do with the VA versus what you can't do.
Right.
With my nonprofit, we could do a lot of things for the homeless vets that the VA doesn't cover.
Right. Well, you know, I think it's just a blessing that God put you on that path because you're filling that niche that kind of lost in space there where there definitely is a need. And when you go out and you meet these people, how do you walk up to them and what do you say?
Well, it depends on if they're on the street or in the woods.
Right.
The ones in the woods, I always make an announcement as I'm going into the woods, because you don't want to just walk up on somebody.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, anybody back here, you know, and then I introduce myself, and I ask any vets in the camp, and if they are, then I say, I need to talk to you about, you know, possibly getting you in your own place.
Wow.
And believe it or not, the other people that's in the camp, they kind of get jealous because I'm concentrating on the vet.
Right.
But I could also help them too, but my main concentration is the veteran.
Right.
I just switch gears.
Yeah.
I mean, to anybody you talk to, you got to switch gears because no two people are the same.
Right.
And I listen to them first and see how they're presenting.
Right.
And then I roll with it.
Sure.
You know, I guess that's a talent that I have. But
wonderful.
I can roll with it.
Do you feel like the ones that are there because they have left society and want to be there with no restrictions? Or do you feel like they're there because they couldn't do any better?
There's a lot of different reasons. Because there's people that's homeless and that I've run across over the years from all different walks of life, even attorneys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's homeless.
Wow.
And the common theme is they lost a job and things started spiraling downhill.
Right.
They couldn't get another job right away, and then the marriage dissolved, and off went the wife and the kids, and they can't afford a place to stay because most of them was on the 2 income.
Yeah.
And they go to hotels as long as they can, as long as money will allow them. Then they
Right.
have to do something else, sleep in their car or
Yeah.
go to the woods or whatever they need to do.
Right. Now, when you walk up to a veteran, do they have to give you proof that they are a veteran? Or do you find people out there that say they're veterans, but they just like wearing that hat or that shirt or for the sympathy?
Actually, from doing it so long, you can tell whether somebody is telling the truth or not.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to veterans. And I have a surface, a pad,
Yeah.
that I could put their name and stuff into the computer and tap into the VA computer and tell whether they're a vet. And
Right.
if they are a vet, what type of discharge they have.
Right.
There's a lot of people who will say they're vets, and my thing is, I get on them if they're not a vet.
Right.
I dig into them
Good.
because we served,
Yes.
we wore that uniform, you didn't, and now you're trying to get something from somebody else, you know,
Sure.
and it's not right.
Right.
And I work with Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and Tampa Police Department. A lot of their homeless initiative officers and
Right.
deputies would call me
Sure.
if they get somebody, and then I meet up with them.
Right.
I make it a priority to meet up with them and get them off the street.
Right. And we've got your website up right now, TampaHomelessOutreach.com or .org, right? If someone wants to get in touch with you and make donations, or maybe they know someone that's living out, you know, in the field by their house, or, you know, I mean, they go to TampaHomelessOutreach.org. And they can look at the home site and see what you do. Now, I'm just curious, you are a veteran, correct? Tell me a little bit about you and your personal story.
I was in 11 years, a little over 11 years in the Army, and proud of it.
Right.
And eventually went to Special Forces training, graduated from that, and as a Special Weapons Sergeant. And I was over in Europe, and my dad passed away.
Oh.
And my dad was my confidant. He
Sure.
was the most important person in my life
Right.
at the time, and he passed away while I was over in Europe. And I came home to sit at the hospital with him when he had his first stroke,
Right.
and stayed there the whole time. And when he was getting ready to be discharged, I went back, and I eventually got out because when he passed away, I took it real hard.
Right.
I took it very hard, and
Sure.
I got out, and I met my CEO
Right.
of Tampa Crossroads, and I've been knowing her for years when I was a forensic specialist.
Wonderful.
And she offered me the position. It was a new position,
Wow.
and she didn't interview anybody else. She said, "You're it if you want it," and I jumped on it.
Wonderful.
So it's been a marriage ever since.
You know, I always say God puts people in our past for a reason, and evidently that was it, because look where you are and look at all the people that you help. And when you've gone into these places, whether you're in the woods or somebody in their car, have you ever had them be confrontational with you, or do they try to argue or fight with you?
I've had a couple, only a couple in the last almost 11 years.
Right.
And they didn't put their hands on me because I told them, you know, I said some things.
Right.
And then I turned around and walked off.
Okay.
I walk away from a fight quicker than
Right.
anybody else, but don't touch me.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So,
exactly.
And we didn't have a problem other than using nasty words,
Right.
calling me different names, nasty
Right,
names and
right.
stuff. And I just let it roll off and just keep moving because they don't
Right.
pay my bills, and
There you go.
you know, so, and I have a house to go to.
There you go.
So
Exactly.
that's the way I look at it, so
Right.
I don't take it personal.
Well, you know, I've learned in my walk with what I do, helping people, a lot of times when people are abrasive, it's their insecurity. And they, you know, they kind of use that as a shield. You know, I'm tough and you won't get close to me. You know, I won't let you get close to me because I'm tougher than you are.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure that you do. Now, tell me about your needs. What is it that you usually need, or people could help you with, or?
Most homeless people, the homeless, normally it's like T-shirts,
Yeah.
And socks. Socks is the biggest thing.
Right.
And T-shirts, shoes.
Right.
Work boots, personal hygiene items.
Sure.
And I keep things like that in my truck.
Right.
In both of my trucks. I even got some in my saddlebag on my bike. So if I run into a homeless person, then, I just give it to them.
Right. And what do you just say? Hey, brother, you homeless? I mean,
No,
what do
I
you
don't
do?
ask
What
them
do
if
you
they're
do?
homeless.
Oh, see, that's what I do. I guess I'm doing it wrong.
No, I don't ask them if they're homeless.
I got to tell
If
you
they're
a
on the
quick.
street.
I got to tell you a funny story. I was in Daytona Beach because I live over in Ormond too, and I went to the Aldi's, and you have to put a quarter in the buggy.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was pushing the buggy back to my truck, this woman walked up to me. And she started giving me this, hey, I'm homeless and all this. I said, first of all, I want to hear your story.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know why you've come to this. Because I'm looking at you, girl, and you look better than I do. You're smaller than I am, and you're prettier than I am, and you're out here. So, what is it? What's your demon?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, alcohol. I said, okay. And I said, well, I'm going to give you this quarter. And then I gave her a couple bucks. But when I got home to my old man, I was telling him the story. He said, whoo, honey, you made her work for that money. You really made her work. But, I really was interested. I guess being a reporter and a media person, I wanted to know, what's your demon? What brought you to this?
Well, I think I wouldn't recommend giving money to a homeless person.
No.
And I'm telling you from experience, because when I first started doing it, that's what I did.
Sure.
I gave money and then found out later from a TPD officer that person OD'd later on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of busted me. You kind of fussed at me once when I was telling you about the guy that lived over in Enterprise by where I live, by Lake Monroe, and this guy, I see him all the time. And my granddaughter was, she was 4 or 5 at the time, and said, Nana, why is he sitting there? And because she'd see him every time we go to the store, and I said, well, because he doesn't have a place to live. And that, and I said, when we see people like that, we need to feel sorry, and maybe somebody will help them, and so later, as we were leaving the store, we brought him some snacks. We gave him a couple bags of chips and a soda or whatever, and the next time we went that way, she said, Nana, there he is. Let's get his Coke. But that's the same guy that you busted me when I said, T-Man, I got a homeless guy that says he was a veteran, and I bought him some soup and some snacks and a 4-pack of beer, and you're like, oh, don't be giving them beer.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to feed their habit.
That's true.
And
That is very true.
But I really enjoy what I do. I love what I do. I really mean that. And I have to give huge kudos to Fran.
Yep.
Fran is our biggest supporter.
She is an
and
angel.
She is so awesome. And I'm waiting for the day that she could ride with me, go for a ride with me, and experience what I do every day.
Right. Wow.
I would love for her to do that, and she was going to send some people out to do that before all this COVID stuff started.
Sure.
But you can ride too.
There you go.
Anytime you want to, just
There
let me
you
know
go.
a day ahead of time, and I'll take you with me.
Wonderful. Well, I'm quite a character. I don't know
That's
if you want
okay.
to take me into.
No,
I might be having a party in the the camp for the homeless
A
people.
lot of them are characters too.
I'm
so
sure.
They'll love you.
I'm sure. Well, is there anything about you that nobody really knows, nobody's ever heard, that you'd like to share? Just any little thing that maybe nobody knows that you want to put out there.
No.
No.
I'm not. Well, I'm not a conceited person.
Right.
I'm a giver more so than a taker.
Wonderful.
And when somebody give me something,
Yeah.
I feel bad about taking it.
Uh-oh.
I really do.
When it's for you personally.
When it's for me personally.
Yes, I get
If it's
it.
for the homeless, that's
Right,
fine.
right, I
But
get
if
it.
it's for me personally,
I get it.
yeah, it's kind of hard to deal with that.
Okay. Well, I have a little surprise for you. Can I get TJ up here? TJ, we got TJ from the Suncoast Brotherhood. Hey, my love.
Hello, dear.
There's some stuff over there I need you to grab because we're going to present this to T-Man right now. And Tony Cianci from Full Throttle Magazine, he's over here with me. See, I grab
I hope it's
men
not
when I need help.
personal.
No, darling, I
Good.
asked you what I could give you
Whoa.
for your people. And we
Wow.
have a bunch of shirts, socks and underwear. I'm going to tell you, I felt like it was Christmas because it's the only time I buy socks and underwear. Soap and canned food and peanut butter and
toothbrush,
yeah.
And so
There you go. Everything.
nice
Some
power
deodorant.
stuff
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Well,
Thank
we
you
just,
so much.
Hey, we're sponsored by Fran Hosh, and I always say Fran gives me money to bless other people, and these guys helping me out. We just wanted to bless you with that, and we're gonna roll the clip
amazing.
now so we can see a little bit about Fran Hosh. And
Okay.
Thank you for coming today. I
It's my
sincerely
pleasure. I appreciate you invite me.
Always. I'm glad that you came, and I appreciate what you do. And you know what? I love you.
Well,
I love you
too.
like a brother. I really do. I love you like a brother, and I'm so proud of everything that you do.
Just so you know, all this will go to homeless veterans.
Wonderful.
Every stitch of it will go to homeless veterans.
Wonderful.
And for my nonprofit, I just need to throw this out there.
Yes.
I don't get paid for
Right.
my nonprofit.
Right.
My paid job is with Tampa Crossroads. So,
Right.
just share the love. There you go.
I wish I had a paid job. Well, I flip houses, and that's how
Yeah.
I've been able to make money and keep myself rolling. And for some reason, every time Fran Hosh gives me money, I wind up spending it on somebody else. We did the Easter basket thing. I work with Kenny Wilkerson. He does Rockin' Recipes for Autism. His son is autistic.
Really?
So he got this cookbook, and it's all full of rock and rollers. But I called up Fran, I texted her because we don't talk anymore. There's Kenny's. We're doing a thing on Father's Day where we're gonna give away gift cards for people to take their dad to dinner at a restaurant around the Orlando area. And there's a picture of the big. Now that's got Cuervo in it. T-Man's gonna fuss at me again. But that's a Father's Day basket. Boot Hill Saloon shirt. And that it's going to be, really be
That's
a
awesome.
fun thing because he's on the radio. He's on FloridaRealMan.com and Florida Real Man Radio, and I'm the sponsor of the 4-Minute Rock Report. So we're going to do something to give away to maybe kids that don't have money to give something to their dad. We're hoping that they get them to, the parents will call into the radio.
That's
and,
awesome.
and we'll be able to do that. Well,
That's great.
I think that we're probably going to roll on into that commercial that we have or that little spiel about Fran, and then I'm going to get to tell you goodbye and thank you for being here so much. And
Thank
like
you
I
so
said,
much.
I love you. I love, and with everything that's going on now, I'm not too ashamed to say, I love you, my brother. I love you more than you know?
Yeah, it's all good.
And,
I really appreciate you having me.
Hey, always, and I
Spreading the word.
know for you it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, is spreading the word about homeless veterans.
Always, it's a labor of love. And hopefully we're going to see that little clip in just a minute.
I decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. I enjoy being a passionate advocate for my clients, and I'm so grateful that being a lawyer also allows me to make a positive impact on our community. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
Having been through a serious accident myself, I understand how instantly isolated someone can feel during the immediate aftermath. We try to shed light on a client's situation so that they don't feel so isolated, knowing that they have us on their side, working towards a resolution on their behalf. That's where we come in, and that's what the firm did for me as well. We fight to set clients on the right track so that they can try to get back to the life they had prior to the accident.
A fellow was texting and driving and came across the line, hit me head on. Just a horrific accident. I literally thought I was going to die. I've dealt with thousands of wrecks in my life, being on the fire department, and never thought I would be in that situation. Fran is a big sponsor of a lot of the restaurant events for bikers and things like that. So I knew that she had a lot of experience in wrecks and things. So she was the first one I thought of to call. She's a bulldog. They found out things that I didn't think were possible to find out. When you're laying in a hospital bed and you're hurting, I understand it. It's scary, but if you have Fran Hosh on your side, it should alleviate a lot of your worries. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
They have their own lives to take care of, whether it's family, a job, or all the above. We endeavor to shield clients from the stressors of an injury claim so that they can try to focus on what is truly important.
The culture of this firm is based on charity, compassion, and I like to surround myself with team members that are going to treat a client like they're part of our family. Community is number one to me. We do a food drive every year. If it's a cancer benefit, a food benefit, something for the animals, something for veterans, we love to be involved in that. The bikers are such a charitable group of people, and they have the biggest hearts. I love being part of that community. This can be devastating to have an accident, and it's just a priority of mine to make sure they get the best medical care possible to make a full recovery.
Hey there, it's Valerie, and we're back. And thank you so much to Thomas T. Man Brown for coming in and sharing and enlightening us about what he does.
He's an amazing guy with what he does. And
man.
so soft-spoken, but yet he moves mountains. You know what I mean? That's what's crazy.
It almost made me want to be quieter.
I saw it's hard to, it's like, okay, you know, you get in there, it's like, he's just got a way with him, and what he does out there is just amazing. I don't know if I could be that guy, you know. I'd love to go with him and see and just help somebody and know that you actually did something for somebody.
Exactly. Well, anyway, now I got you on here because I want you to talk about what's coming up. Now this is the 6th of June, so your run is next weekend.
Yes.
Tell me about your run, because I want to get a lot of people excited. Tony is, of course, the editor-in-chief, and I call myself the big bitch in charge. I won't tell you that.
I go with the Chief Cupcake, you know,
exactly.
the Chief Cupcake of Full Throttle magazine.
Of our sister publication, Full Throttle.
Well, you're the sister publication. I'm the brother.
You're the brother. That's right.
We gotta get this right here. We got the Soaked and Sore Ass run coming up. Believe it or not, our 23rd annual ride. We're going all the way down to Islamorada. It's going to be great. And I've had a lot of people asking me recently what the benefit's for.
Yeah.
And this benefits our brothers who live and sisters who live down in the Keys, because if you think for the last 3 months they've had a stop at the Keys, so you can't go down there. No boats coming in, no people going down. Their livelihood is based on travel.
Right.
And you can't go there unless you live there right now. So the idea of getting down there and helping the people that live in the Keys, you know, we're stopping at Islamorada, which is about halfway, but we're going to go down to the Key West and get down there and stay and spend some money and help their economy down there. It's really bad.
Great. Well, what did you do about hotels? Have you got that solved yet?
So when I picked up the phone, we usually have a host hotel.
Right.
This year, with technology moving the way it is, when I called 3 or 4 hotels, they finally all told me the same thing. Go online and book your things through booking.com or hotels.com. And I said, really? They said, those are the best rates you're going to get.
Yeah.
And being that it's 50% and it's so close to the time, we don't want to set it up like that. So I said, okay. So I've got a room. I know the rooms are, rooms aren't cheap down there. It's Keys. Rooms are never cheap in the Keys. Exactly. But, there's plenty of space, a lot of people. We have over 100 pre-registrations, and we expect somewhere around 300 people on the entire ride, 300 bikes at least,
Well, if I go, I'm going in a Prevost bus, okay?
You can come in a bus, a car, a unicycle, a scooter, a moped, whatever you want to come and do the ride on. It's you can do the ride. It's $40 for a single and $70 for a couple. What's cool about this ride is I've had people call me and say, can I meet you at Rossiter's? Can I meet you at Black Widow and join the group from there? No. You have to come to Quaker. This is a 300-plus mile ride.
Right.
This isn't can I jump in and just finish up and ride with people? Yeah, if you don't want to, do the whole thing. But you have to earn the T-shirt. Yes. You have to earn the patch and certificate. Not everybody goes on a 300-mile ride.
Right.
Every day. I don't go on 300-mile rides every day, sometimes on the weekends. But this, you have to earn it. And when you get the shirts and you get the patches, we offer those to the people that are on the ride. When it's done, we don't give those to anybody else. If we have them left over, we cut them up, we throw them away.
Wow.
You cannot get those shirts unless you go on that ride, which makes it a lot of fun.
Wow. So you're starting out the 13th. Am I right?
At Quaker Steak
At
and
Quaker
Lube?
Steak and Lube. What time do they have to be there?
So registration is 8 to 10, and breakfast, Bill said he was going to do something different. They're going to make breakfast. So
Oh, good.
they're doing breakfast at Quaker Steak and Lube from 8 to 10. The next stop at Roster's doesn't start until 10.
Right.
So get there early, get breakfast,
Right.
get your card, get your groups together, do what you got to do, and then go to that next stop. And as it progresses, the stops get longer in time frame,
Right.
because you're going further away, and
Right.
you know, it's hard to. You have basically from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. to make all the stops.
Right, very cool. Well, you know what? I know you're going to have a lot of fun. I'm praying that you don't run into any bad weather. And if you do, what do you do?
It's called the Soaked and Sore S Run for
There
a
you
reason.
go, okay.
And one of the things we put on our sheet is rain or shine, and it will most likely rain somewhere. So bring
Exactly,
your rain gear. That's
exactly.
part of the gig is it's going to be hot and rainy.
Right. Well, you know, with the cell phones and all the contact we have nowadays, all you got to do is pull in somewhere and say, hey, we're here, right? And then everybody shows up. Is there any last thing you'd like to say about your run as we leave here?
It's the first big ride coming off of this COVID. I know there's things
Yeah.
starting already, but you know what? This is the ride to do. It's let's have a vacation, let's have a good time, and help our people in the Keys.
Right. And I see it's sponsored by Fran Hosh.
Everything's sponsored by Fran. She's amazing.
I'm telling you, she is amazing. We're all blessed.
What a great family, great
Yeah.
people, just a kind, open heart, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, guys, you heard it there. So this is Valerie Smith for Rider Now TV, and with Tony Cianci here from Full Throttle, and we're out of here.